I'm going back to our early looks, right? And I think some important things here. On 423 was our first note where we talked about less bearish. On 5-1, so I know we all have ChatGPT. You can put our early looks into ChatGPT and you can see if they're more bearish or bullish. And what the GPT says on our 5-1 was that you were bullish on SPY and that you were selective on individual stocks and selling your bonds is what your 5-1 was. So can you just maybe explain for people, one, what stop losses are and the process from going bearish to bullish? And as well as when things are bullish trend, how that also does mean that we would be buyers of those things on dips.
Yeah, it's interesting. First of all, that's a very good, it's an important call, and I appreciate it because it's good to have teammates that can, like, again, I'm not here to tell people I'm going to nail every single top, bottom, and everything in between. That's complete bullshit, obviously. And we're not here to bullshit you. We're here to execute. So it is important to go back and say, when it says in the third week of April, less bearish, like, what did you do with it? I know what I did with it. Could I have done better? Of course. Every day I can do better. Every day. But I don't do better, Rooster, by blaming other people for my problems. I don't do better by saying, did you miss a generational buying opportunity? No, that's not going to help me do better. That's going to make me a lot worse. All right. So now the way to use stop losses on the more important point beyond that, if it goes from bearish to bullish trend, you're out of it on the short side. If it goes from bearish to bullish trend and you want to buy it, have at it. The machine's buying it. The machine doesn't have the same rules that I have. I don't ChatGPT says that Hedgeye is bullish on the S&P 500. It says it in the risk range product. The machine can read that. It says bullish trend, right? So now what I don't do is I don't buy things when they're up. I don't buy things on green, and I don't generally buy beta. There's no money to be made in being long beta, right? There's no fees. There's nothing, right? So I'm long other kinds of equities. So I'm long different sectors. In the XLU smoked SPY yesterday, so use the shifts. Utilities went from bearish trend to bullish trend. So what did I do? I went from short utilities to long them. Right? It's not these things. It's not that complicated if you just bring it right down to the rules. I think, I think the problem with with few people, and certainly new people, Rooster, is that the way that their mind is geared has got a lot of problems. Like, we as human beings have diseases, right? We seek certainty. We seek, that's one of the greatest diseases of an investor, whereas we, as a matter of process, embrace uncertainty, right? If you're coming from the old wall or a CNBC type viewer, you're constantly being pushed into the same things that everyone else is chasing, right? And whether or not you want to acknowledge that or not, that is a fact, right? So, you want to get yourself to a place where you're totally agnostic to all that noise, which includes me talking. And that's the last point I want to make on this. When you come from the old wall to the new wall, you come to Hedgeye in our community, you still hear things the way that you hear things, right? You're like, wow, that guy Keith sounds pretty bullish on gold. I'm going to buy gold, like at the top. No, that's not how you do that, right? So it's because they go with what they want, right, Rooster? They want the certainty. And when gold says bullish trend, it's making higher all-time highs. They have the FOMO too, So that there's a process for that. And I think I'm very happy with how I risk managed gold.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.